Hello, today I'm going to be deck profiling a fun deck of mine. I like to enjoy it. Still working on it, so it is a work in progress. I'll put up more videos as the deck develops even more, but for the time being, here is my Blue Eyes White Dragon deck. Starts off, I run the 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon, I like to call the Kyber variant. Brings back the nostalgia from the anime, and I love playing it. Next, I run, of course, the 3 alternative Blue Eyes. If you don't know what this does, if I have Blue Eyes already in my hand, I can reveal the Blue Eyes and special summon him out to the side of the field. So that special summon is quite useful, and that's the main reason I do use it. As well as, it does have an effect to destroy something in the field, but it can't attack that turn, so I much prefer special summoning and just go on attack. Next, I run 2 Dragon Spirit of White. This card's quite fun. I use it quite a bit. If my opponent controls a monster I control, and this is on the field, I have Blue Eyes in my hand, by activating its effect, I can potentially bring out that Blue Eyes by attributing this. Other than that, I do run 3 Sage with Eyes of Blue. At the moment, this card is about $15 to $18, depending on the rarity. You might be able to get it for 10. So while it's cheap and low, I suggest getting this before Link Summoning comes out, and maybe Blue Eyes decks get hyped up a lot more, because it doesn't rely so much on the extra deck as some people would. My version doesn't. I don't use much of an extra deck. It's pretty much bring out your Blue Eyes, destroy their field, and have some fun. Moving on from that, I do only run 2 White Stone of Ancients. I am looking at a third, but at the moment 2 is quite helpful. If I was to get a third, I'd probably take out one of my other lower ones, because I do run, as well as Maiden with Eyes of Blue, as well as Master with Eyes of Blue. If I was to take one out for another White Stone of the Ancients, it would be one of these 2. Although I do run Maiden with Eyes of Blue because it's quite fun. When they go to attack, I can just bring out my Blue Eyes, and Master is just fun all around with the effect. Next, I run the 1 White Stone of Ancient. You only really need the 1. It does get Blue Eyes to your hand, but it's not like Ancient Stone where you can special them out at the end of your turn. Finish off my Blue Eyes related cards, I do run Rider of the Stormwinds. Pretty much just from equip to hand, and protects my monster from being destroyed by card effect at least once, because instead it will get sent to the grave. Finishing off my monsters, I do run still main decking the 1 Maxi. Now when Link Summoning comes out, or when Special Summoning so much gets lower, I might take this out and put in a different Blue Eyes related card. But for the time being, I do enjoy having this in the deck. Moving on to spells, I run 3 Melody of Awakening Dragon. Now this is pretty much your search. You would discard 1 card. It doesn't even have to be a monster, it can be a spell, trap, whatever. So just by discarding it, you get to search for your alternative and your Blue Eyes White Dragon first turn, whenever you can bring it out. It's a lot of fun. Next, I run for draw power 3 trade-ins. Because you run the 3 Blue Eyes, as well as 3 alternatives, plus the other Spirit of White, there is potential of getting so many level 8s to your hand. Next, I also run for draw power 1 Cards of Consonance. I run only the 1. You do run a few of the lower dragon tuners, but just a 1 is enough to get a little bit of that draw power. Next, I run 2 Silver's Cry. Target one of the normal dragon monsters in your grave, special summon it. Although you can only activate the 1, it is quite useful. once again, if you've got 3 of these, run 3. I've only got the 2. I'm testing out the 2, and at the moment is quite helpful. So it's all a matter of preference of how many you want to run. But 2 or 3 at the most. Sorry, 2 at least. Don't run 1, because you'll never be able to bring it out. 2 is just enough, and 3, you might get cluttered, but in the same of saying that, if you've got a lot of cards, or if you play a way of sending it to the grave a lot, then running Silver's Cry is quite helpful. In saying that though, I do run 3 Return of the Dragon Lords, so most of the time I'd prefer using this one to bring back monsters, just because of the protection effect by bashing it is quite useful. Next, I run 1 Foolish Burial. Pretty much a lot of cards in my deck, if they're sent to the grave, or I can potentially always bring them back by Return of the Dragon Lords, Soul Recharge, or even Silver's Cry. So it is quite handy. Next, I run the 1 1-for-1. Pretty much just bringing out my level 1s. There's a lot in the deck, so it is quite useful. Most of the time when one of them's destroyed, their effect will go off, which is quite handy. To finish off my spells, I do run the board wipe of 2 Dark Holes and 1 Regeki. This just for help. If I'm not drawing anything good and my opponent's got a whole board, but they can't really protect it enough, it's nice to know I've got these as backup. Next, for my traps, I do run 3 Mirror Force. If you don't have Mirror Force and you've got Negate Attack, run Negate Attack. If you don't have either one of those two, but you've got Quaking Mirror Force, really it's just a matter of choice. Just so you've got that protection. Although you can go for OTKs in that, or at least win in 2 turns, it's nice to know you've got that nice little bit of protection. To finish off, I do run 1 Solemn Strike and 1 Solemn Warning. Just to stop their monsters, nice to get around. 5 traps is enough for this deck. I wouldn't really run so many more traps. If you would prefer to run more spells than anything, go ahead. It's just a matter of preference. Next, I'm still working on the extra deck. So at the moment I've only got these 3. But in saying that, most of the time I only ever bring out Thunder Rain Dragon, just a board wipe, because I like keeping Blue Eyes on the field instead of just bringing these 2 out. That's it for my Blue Eyes White Dragon deck profile. There'll probably be a later video when it's developed more. At the moment I hope you enjoyed it. As usual, if there's a deck you want me to profile or make, I'll try my hardest to do it. Just leave a comment. If you want to see more content like this, please subscribe and like the content as usual. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.